Hello, it is Monday. I've just got in from a walk around the cricket ground with the dog to try and help ease some pains that I'm having. I have had a very positive start to the day, which I'm apprehensive of because I feel like I need at least 3 of these to feel like I've got this under control. I wouldn't say I slept through perfectly last night, I just didn't, but I woke up on a completely different side. So I started on my left, I woke up on my right. I do not remember, therefore did not wake up in lots of pain during that transition. Last night, for the first time, I used this deep sleep pillow spray from This Works. Maybe it do. I had my painkillers and I had 2 magnesium glycinate tabs. Magnesium has always been in my supplement stack. I took them out as soon as I got pregnant because I thought I'm going to save that for when I really need it. We're there. My sleep was infinitely better last night than it has been all week, apart from last Tuesday. I've had terrible, almost non-existent sleep since then. So I'm very pleased with that, but I'm reluctant to say that it's a game changer until I see consistency in that. I've been to the gym, I've done an upper session, it was quite good. I've walked, I've taken Maggie for a walk, I've done 15 minutes cardio. There has been attempts today at just being normal, and I feel like I did that quite well. I am going to have something to eat now. This evening we are having steak that Andy picked up from Clarkson's farm. I say Clarkson's farm, diddly squat. So it is produce from Jeremy Clarkson's farm, that we're having that for our dinner tonight, which I'm really looking forward to. Yep, smells good still. God. But yeah, it's been I don't want to be too positive about it. I also don't want to be a miserable bitch anymore. I feel like we could be on the up. I hope so. I hope so. The excitement is real. Good morning, it is Tuesday. I'm looking puffier and puffier by the day. Maggie, come on. Joy. And we are just out for a walk. Look how lovely this is. It's not shit, is it? It's about 10 to 9. I'm up, showered, done something with my face, eaten a pear for the poops, which still haven't happened yet. Yeah, we're hopeful. But sleep, again, my Aura ring is telling me that it was great. I'm telling you now, it was not. And this is what I was worried about yesterday, getting too excited that the things that I'm trying to implement are working. Like, I need some more consistency before I can honestly say that they've made any improvements, but I'm already feeling nervous about going back to work next week because I just feel like nothing has changed. Pain management is better, but it was always going to be. It's still not perfect because, like, I'm still in pain now and I've already had codeine, paracetamol, you name it. I also don't want to be taking too much codeine because I don't want our baby to be born and experience withdrawal, because it would be fine for her, like from a health perspective it would be okay, but from a she ain't gonna sleep well perspective, it's not gonna be great. So I'm trying not to have the codeine where I can help it, but it is getting me through. It's just something that I'm mindful of. Today I'm going to go and train quads and delts after I have taken Maggie to the vets for a pre-spay checkup. Yes, you heard that right. A pre-spay checkup. I feel really weird about it. Like, I know that we need to do it for, like, her health, lowering risks of any, I think it was mammary cancer, rather than what you'd expect, ovarian, cervical, blah blah blah, but it significantly lowers her risks, so we're going to do it anyway. We'll just go and see what the options are. Quads and delts at the gym, pregi yoga tonight, where I've made a new pregnant friend. Like a proper one. Someone that I feel like if we weren't pregnant, that's something that I've found difficult when I'm going to these antenatal classes. Like I want to be, Maggie, come. I want to be making friends and being sociable. But I also want to look at the right people. I don't want to just make friends for the sake of making friends with people that, had we not been in these same circumstances, would we actually be mates? Like, do we align on certain things and stuff? But I've made one that I know I can guarantee. So I'm actually going for coffee with her on Thursday, which would be nice. We've pretty much outdone ourselves here. Maggie, don't eat that. And see how we get on. I've got house stuff to do, I've got shopping to do, I've got mortgage bits to do, I've got adult stuff to do, which is very boring. Fun fact, this coat zipped up last week. I didn't think I was growing much. This coat zipped up last week. It does not this week. Okay, so it's now 12 o'clock on the dot. I've just got to the gym. When I say today has gone from 0 to 100 in the space of what was about 20 minutes, ignore this. This really needs to go in the wash. We've had someone really interested in the house after having absolutely no interest whatsoever. She's coming to see it on Thursday and she is excited. That's one. Andy, I'll never complain about him. The man's a fucking angel. I love the bones of him. He thought he had 2 weeks paternity. He has 6 months. His deadline for asking for that is tomorrow. The stress levels in the house have gone like that. Because he's now realised he has 46 working days left at work. For 2026. I've got a growth scan now at 3:30, so I need to haul ass in there and haul ass back out. I was going to film this session. I don't think I'll have time now, which is annoying. And what else has happened? Oh, I took Maggie to her pre-spay appointment to just see how she was getting on, whether we could book her in. Yeah, we can book her in. The ideal time to do it would be the 17th of June. Our baby is due on the 18th of June, so we will be delaying that slightly. Oh my God. This all happened within about 20 minutes. I'm going to go inside and thrash this out. Trained, home, eaten, back at the hospital. Right. Because I haven't ranted enough recently. I've been really clear throughout this entire pregnancy so far that I don't want any special treatment. And I don't. Like, I want to be able to continue lifting bags, doing things, and just being me for as long as possible. But today, trained, and then I was about to do my cardio. And at the minute, because my pelvic girdle pain is so bad, the only real cardio that I can use comfortably is the bike, right? 3 people on all of the bikes, going slow, having a chat, blah, 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 blah. One of them knew full well that I've been struggling with any other form of cardio. Am I being unreasonable that there could have been an offer there of like, oh, don't worry, I'll go in. Oh, don't worry, I'll cross trainer, I'll stairmaster. Am I being a prick? I think I am being a prick. Either way, it annoyed me. I got frustrated, so I was in a fucking foul mood when I got back. Right, off to go and take my moon face to have a growth scan that I think is unnecessary, but here we are. Okay, I was actually running early for that and I'm still getting out at 4:45. If you are pregnant and you have not been for a scan yet, take a fucking book, take anything, because it takes so long. You not only have your scan, you go and see a nurse for some sort of observations, whether that is just blood pressure, your oxygen levels, or whatever it is that you're blowing into. Oh God, I'm so out of breath. and then you see a midwife. Yeah, takes fucking hours. Anyway, here's our baby Thomas, who for the first time, that was the first time I've really been able to feel her whilst I was having a scan done. She does not like it, and she blew me a kiss on the screen and then punched me, and I saw it and felt it at the same time, so she is quite rude. Shock. She got attitude, shock. But yeah, that is everything that I need to do today sorted. It's been stressful. My boss wants to speak to me and catch up and make sure I'm all right. Respectfully, the last person that I need to talk to today, so I just said to call me tomorrow. But yeah, back home, eat, drink some more. I feel so full, and I've eaten fuck all in comparison to usual. I'm about 1,000 calories down today. Just not interested. But I have preggy yoga tonight, so we'll be going to that, and hopefully won't be as full as last week, because I thought I was going to throw up the entire way through it because I'd had a big bowl of oats, so maybe I'll have them as soon as I get home. The week just gets better and better. It's Wednesday. I woke up with a questionable rash on my vagina this morning. Itchy, sore, not smelly, so at least I've got that going for me. I've got thrush for the first time ever, I think, anyway. I know that's unlikely. I probably have had at some point. So I don't know whether that has happened as a result of my antibiotics. I know that antibiotics can usually throw off everything, but never happened to me before. Not usually how my body reacts. So interesting. So I've just had an appointment to expose myself to the nurse. Sure, she loved that. I have been up since about maybe 7, washed my hair. It's rest day, but I'm gonna go and just do a bit of cardio and just try and keep myself moving. I figured I'll go to my hip realignment appointment first, then do my cardio so I can really feel the benefit of that, and then walk the dog and just keep moving today. Sleep is similar to how it was last night. It doesn't feel like it's improving, but I'm not lying there awake at night as much as I was, but it's not brilliant either. It's a really difficult one to call. Like, I couldn't tell you whether it's getting better or not. It doesn't feel like it. That's my day, is just full of appointments, getting pummeled from all angles, really, which I'm sure is all I've got to come, so why not start now? I'm just feeling quite sorry for myself. Really didn't think I'd be the mayor of Struggle City so early, but I am. I say so early. I'm 27 weeks tomorrow. Is that early? Like, we're nearing the 3rd trimester, but I just genuinely thought, naively, that all of these things that really affect your well-being and pain and discomfort would really be beyond like 33 weeks, as you're much closer. I didn't think it'd be happening to me now. What a silly bitch. I finished my cardio for the week, all of it, and my steps are where they should be. I feel quite accomplished for someone who seemingly their life is falling apart. I've actually just driven to 2 McDonald's to try and get a mini McFlurry, and the McFlurry machine was broken at the first one, but I was successful at the second one. They're only about 170 calories, by the way, for the mini ones. So a nice little something when it's warm, because it's not the first warm day, but it's a nice day. And I'm not saying I'm struggling, but I have just gone and bought a few of these kind of freezy pops and the sugar-free Mr. Freezes. Not on prep, so the 20 calories in the Del Monte ones don't really bother me. These come in at 3 calories per 100 ml, and I think each one is 45 ml, so 1.5 calories per pole, which is not bad at all. I think if one more person asks me how I am, I tell them you know, like how things are going, and then they turn around to me and say, well, it'll be all right in the end. It'll be worth it in the end. I fucking know that, Janice. I don't wish for a second that I wasn't pregnant. It's really winding me up. It's really winding me up because I feel like women don't talk about how hard pregnancies are or can be if they're having a bad one and it's rough. And it's things like that that stop them. Like, if someone's saying something to you, they feel comfortable enough to say it and feel like they trust you. If you turn around and just say it'll be worth it in the end and just shut that conversation down, guess what? They're not going to fucking say anything. I've had 3 of those today when people have asked me how I'm getting on, and I've told them. And they've told me it'll be worth it in the end, as though I am not aware of that. I'd do it all 6-10 times over for that little girl. But currently, it's hard. And I just, you know, I feel for people that stay quiet, people that don't tell you how they're feeling, have told someone before and been shut down, been made to feel small, been made to feel less than, been made to feel like they should shut up and keep their thoughts and feelings to themselves, and every feeling has its place and is valid. It really does. I won't shy away from talking about things like this because I'm eating shit sandwiches right now, and putting like rainbow sprinkles on my shit sandwich doesn't make it any easier to eat. It's still a shit sandwich. So I might as well just share the shit sandwich and then eat the shit sandwich. And if another shit sandwich comes my way, I'll go, yum, yum, thank you very much. They're my favourite. Because there is no alternative right now. But did that make any sense? Like, let people talk about their shit sandwiches. And I think that actually made up most of my check-in today, which I wrote out on the bike whilst I was cardioing. It's been a rough day. My physio appointment was so painful that I laid there and cried while she did it and couldn't speak. She was asking me questions and I couldn't speak. And my manager rang me afterwards and was like, you okay? How are you getting on? And I'm just like, I don't know what to say to you. I am limping to maternity leave. Limping, but I'm absolutely determined to get there and not take it any earlier. If I have a pregnancy-related absence after the 4th of May, that's it. My maternity leave starts. And I don't want it to, because I want as much time paid with my baby as possible. And on that note, I'm going to go inside. But shortly after, I'll go and walk Maggie. But yeah, it's been a day. But I got through another one. Andy, what do you reckon? Am I going to be ready for the British finals in May? Thursday. Brunch date. Okay, it's 3:30 on Thursday and I've just had a really nice like brunch lunch with a girl that I've met at pregnancy yoga. She's really, really nice, so I'm glad I've made a preggy friend. My stomach is doing bits though. Like, it did not enjoy the baguette that I've just had. When I get in the car, I'll tell you more about my morning, because it has been a morning. I'll take this down before I get in the car, because that freaks me out. Oh my God, I'm so out of breath. Ugh. So, we had a house viewing today at 10:30. They didn't leave until nearly 12. It was the most intense house viewing ever. I also checked in first thing this morning and it was excellent. I'm so pleased, finally, I think. I mean, this week is a bit of an anomaly because I haven't been at work, and energy and ability to do, like, tick all the boxes whilst also feeling like garbage has been a little bit easier. And I don't know how that's going to look going forward. However, this week has been an excellent week and I'm really, really pleased with it. And so is Amy. Obviously, there's no feedback in terms of like upping food or changing this or blah, 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 because it's just not that kind of check-in at the minute. But it was extremely positive. That's great. That's what you want. But God, yeah, it's been a morning. This lady is exceptionally keen on our house. Very, very keen on our house. So I'm hopeful, but we will see. I have done fuck all steps. It's 3:30. I think I've done, 3796. So I need to go out and do something and take Maggie for a walk or something. But yeah, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. I've got my gestational diabetes test tomorrow, which I'm not looking forward to. I don't think I have it. I mean, baby is measuring still on the 36th centile. It's not like she's a big baby. I do have some of the symptoms for it, but not all of them. And some of them are just very conducive to being pregnant. So it is what it is. We will see. That was so nice. I really, really needed that. And I do feel like I've made like a proper friend that's not just a circumstances friend, which is important.
How I was never charged, he had the restraining order he filed against me. How I still see him all the time, wherever I go. I wish he'd suffer.
Freedom. Freedom. Happy Friday. Okay, so I'm back home now. It's Friday. I was up at the hospital for my gestational diabetes test, which I triggered because of my BMI. And I think I've talked about BMI before, but I think it's a load of bullshit. I do. I think it's such bullshit. BMI caused me a lot of trauma is the wrong word, but certainly a different approach to food and nutrition as a teenager. When I went on the pill, I was told I was morbidly obese as a 12-year-old. I wasn't by any means, but as a 12-year-old that's 5'5" and was becoming a woman, of course that set things off a little bit, and it put me on the trajectory of looking statistically like I was morbidly obese. But back in the noughties, nobody reassured me that that wasn't actually the case, and that not to read too much into this because it is just one metric. And, you know, I am an athlete. I carry more muscle mass than the average person. Yes, there is plenty of body fat there at the moment as well, but I'm certainly not in a drastically overweight BMI. However, it's taken me into the realm of having to have the gestational diabetes test. You can refuse them, by the way. Did you know that? A lot of the testing and a lot of the interventions and a lot of the inductions and all of that kind of stuff that comes with pregnancy, you can say no thank you. Good to know, isn't it? And there'll be some things that I will refuse and not want to do, and that is my choice, and it's no judgment whatsoever on others. Like, it's your body, it's your pregnancy, it's your baby, you can do whatever you want, but there are some things that I'm just not going to do, and I think that's okay, and I think more people need to know that you just don't have to do them. But whilst I was there, we've accepted a new offer on the house. So things are ramping back up again. Tell me why I'm due in 13 weeks and the average time of sorting out a house move is 12 weeks minimum. The lady that bought our house has a first time buyer. She's already half packed. She's ready to go. We are sort of packed in some respects. So yeah. This is all a bit stupid. But during my test this morning, going back to that, I fasted from 8 till 8, only having water, have taken the glucose drink, and then had to sit and rest completely for 2 hours, have a second lot of bloods done, and then I should find out by Wednesday on what that looks like. If it comes back positive, I'll be getting a second test and a second opinion, just because your blood glucose can be determined not just by fasting and reactions to glucose, but like whatever I had yesterday may have impacted that. So I would like to do it twice if I'm told that it's positive, because then that puts me on the trajectory of a high risk pregnancy. And I don't particularly think I am. Baby is still measuring very small. Well, not very small, but smaller. And yeah, I don't think it's massively necessary at this point, but we'll see. We'll see. But I'll find out about that on Wednesday. I've also got a hair appointment this morning / afternoon. So annoyingly, I'm probably going to be behind on my steps today and battling that out. I wasn't allowed to train or exercise before my test, a bit like the SIBO tests. So I've missed out on a day's training and cardio today so far. By the time my hair is finished, don't think I'm going to have time for a lot of that before Busy Bumps tonight, our antenatal class. So there are some days like today where it's just pregnancy and everything else comes first, and all of these little appointments and stuff. But I desperately need my hair doing. Desperately need my hair doing. Don't know whether I'll have a half head of highlights today, but I'm going to talk about my breakage and how I've tried to counteract that with my hairdresser and just see what she thinks and what kind of state my hair is in. But yeah, what a fucking morning. Things are going to get stressy from here on in. Why have I done this? It needs to be done, that's why I've done this. But still, it's a lot. And thankfully, Andy gets loads of paternity leave, which we found out this week. So there can be lots of sorting and decorating when we're in there to just make it a little bit more how we would want it and a bit more homely. But the house that we wanted is also still up for everything. So they've reaccepted our offer this morning, which is good news. And we also got an extra £1,000 for this house, which is good. She just went in at a different offer to what we'd accepted before. So, oh God. I wouldn't recommend doing this. I know you're all sat there thinking I'm stupid anyway, and that this isn't recommended, but I wouldn't recommend doing this. Just know that I also think this is stupid. But since finishing my fasting, I've had a pear. I've had a all-day breakfast sandwich that I picked up as I was leaving the hospital, because just to get 20 grams of protein in. And I will have something else to eat before I go to the hairdressers and pack myself up like a little lunchbox, because I'll be there for a few hours. But yeah, fuck. It's all happening. Okay, we are back from our little colour refresh. Is a lot of fluff. Like, is this breakage? Is this new hair coming through? We're not sure. Discuss with Emma, my hairdresser, about how much thinner my hair has got in the last year. And we looked back at pictures and it was actually slightly soul destroying. Made me quite upset to look at where my hair was a year ago. And we think it could be down to the stress of this past year, because actually competing was fine until June. I think we probably started to see some of this deterioration around August, September time. So it wasn't throughout prep, it wasn't coming up from prep. I'm not entirely sure, but I think this is the thinnest my hair has been in a very, very long time. I'm talking 10 years. And it is slightly sad, makes me a little bit worried for postpartum. Probably needed this off again, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. I couldn't bring myself to do it. So what I'm going to do is continue with the K18. I'm going to use that every week, and she said that that's okay. Cool it on the Olaplex, because too much of a good thing, too much protein could be bad for it, could be drying it out further, making it more brittle. And he did say to me the other day, he was like, did you clean out the shower plug? And I was like, absolutely fucking not. That is a job that makes me fucking dry heave. Like, I can't do that job. That is an Andy job. And he was like, oh, there's no hair in it. And I was like, that's actually quite reassuring that it looks like I've cleaned it, because there's none of my hair in the plug. So maybe that means that I'm having less fallout. And I do feel like the breakage has got under control recently. Like, this is growing and it's not getting any worse. So I'm hopeful that I may have got on top of it before it gets too bad, and that actually some of this fluff that is up here as well at the root is new / just regenerative of hair that I have lost at some point, because there's no bald patches, but it is incredibly thin when you look back at where I was at this time last year. And that was post going blonde, so I know it's not that. And we've done strand tests before we started doing any grey blending, which is only ever here, never goes all the way down. So I'm hopeful, but I don't think I'm out of the woods yet. And I think carrying on with rather than using my socks, but just wrapping my hair around itself, whether I completely dry it, whether I leave it wet to do that, I'm not entirely sure yet. There might be a little bit of drying, but at least the heat on it will be a lot lesser than. But it's 4:15. I've had loads of phone calls about the house while I was at the hairdresser, which was stressful, and I need to limit that. What I'm going to do is go in and try and get in as many steps as possible before baby group tonight and eat something. And today's just going to have to be written off as one of those days where I don't get it all done, but also has been productive in other ways. So, whatever. It is Saturday. We've been and trained. We got up quite early to do that because we needed to be back home for a house buyer to come round, right? Which we'd arranged for her to come over at 10 to take some measurements. And I say measurements because she didn't take fucking any. She just turned up with cupcakes. She turned up with cupcakes and something fizzy, non-alcoholic obviously, for us to drink and celebrate. What the fuck? So, how random. She was there an hour and a half. Oh God, bless her. I think she might be a little bit lonely. She lives on her own, so we indulged in that. But now I'm a little bit behind on what I want to do, so I'm just out getting some steps. I did a bit of cardio this morning, trained pulling hams, had a minor meltdown when I got home about just what we're doing. I don't think it'd be right if I got through pregnancy and a house move without one meltdown. So yeah, hopefully that is my March meltdown. But yeah, it's intense. It's an intense time. I'm worrying about money. I'm worrying about how I'm going to continue to an extent doing what I'm doing. I know that I'm not going to be able to fully do it. But yeah, it's just a lot to get my head around in a short space of time. But anyway, we are having a quiet weekend, thank God. Might start packing. It is Sunday and I've trained glutes this morning and just lower in general. Done about 10 minutes cardio. I've got some steps in. I'm on about 3,500 and I'm just settling down to eat something. Which actually I didn't show you my, wasn't an off-plan meal because I can't say that I've really been indulging in off-plan meals this time around because every day feels like I'm having off-plan meals because I'm macro tracking everything. But last night's meal that Andy and I had together was a carbonara that he made. I didn't show you it because it was absolute sacrilege to any Italians because there was a chicken Kiev on top. But I'm literally having a chicken Kiev with rice for meal 3 at the moment, and I couldn't have recorded that. Like, it was offensive. I'm not feeling particularly brilliant today. I'm in a lot of pain. My digestive system is just not the one. I'm gonna have this. I'm gonna take some lactulose and I'm gonna get on the treadmill and try and get things moving. Feeling a little bit apprehensive about going back to work tomorrow because the sleep and the pain is just not been it, but I've just gotta friggin' try. We have had the discussion, like yesterday was a hard day anyway, going through like finances and stuff for, you know, what happens when I go part-time, what happens when I am on statutory maternity pay for 3 months, which is going to be rough. It's just all going to be quite hard. But it's one of them things. But where was I going with this? Following that discussion yesterday, it's just made me really think about, I've just got to fucking really try and power through to my maternity leave. And I feel like and it's certainly not coming from Andy, it's coming from myself, like there's pressure for me to get there, even though this is feeling like utter shit at the moment. But I'm gonna maybe try and work some holiday around it and take some extra time off so that I'm working less in the run-up. But I'll look at that tomorrow. Today is just about trying to poop and resting before that all starts tomorrow. The reason why my poops are just non-existent and I'm really suffering is because of the codeine that I've been taking for my hip pain is starting to really impact my digestion. So it's just, there is no win to any of the things that I'm trying to help myself at the moment, which is hard. God, about 9.5 weeks of work to go. Surely I can do it.